Welcome back to XiangQi Explain. In this video, I will be teaching you how to win a game of XiangQi with the black pieces. Red opens the game with the center cannon opening, attacking our center pawn. We move our horse up to protect our center pawn. Red develops his horse. In this position, we push our 7th pawn, freeing up our horse in the future, and at the same time, restricting the opponent's horse. Red develops his rook, and we also develop our rook. Here, Red has to move his rook forward. If he doesn't, let's say he also pushes his 7th pawn, we can move our left cannon upwards, suffocating the opponent's rook. Therefore, Red moves his rook upwards, applying pressure on our left side. We develop our right horse, and Red also pushes his 7th pawn, restricting our horse. This opening is known as the 7th pawn variation of the center cannon versus green horse defense, the most popular opening in Xiangqi history. Here, black has two main choices: moving the cannon to the side, allowing for a trade of rooks, or he can simply move his horse upwards. In this video, I'll be teaching you a very sneaky trap, which is to move our right elephant up. If Red has not seen this opening before, he would easily fall for our trap and slide his rook to attack our left horse. In fact, this seems like a very natural move, because our horse is no longer protected by the cannon. This is where the fun begins. In this position, we sacrifice our left horse and move our right cannon upwards, attacking this pawn. Here, Red has 3 ways to respond: taking our horse with his rook, moving his 3rd pawn up, or moving his center pawn up. Firstly, if he cannot resist the temptation and takes our horse with his rook, it is a huge blunder. Here, we capture the pawn with our cannon, forming a double attack on the rook and the elephant. When he moves his rook to safety, we chop off the elephant with our cannon. After he responds to the check, we can simply push our pawn across the river, threatening the very survival of this horse. Red is basically doomed from now on. In the next few moves, let's say he makes a random move, we will slide our cannon to the side, threatening a double cannon checkmate on his king. Not only that, we also have a rook to join in the attack. As you can see, our opponent cannot accept the horse sacrifice. Let's go back a few more moves. So over here, Red cannot take our horse. Instead, he decides to push his 3rd pawn up. Now, our cannon cannot take the pawn, and his rook is still attacking our horse. But it's fine. We continue to sacrifice our horse by capturing his pawn. If he takes our horse, we push our pawn forward, threatening to take his horse. Since he's up a horse, he would not want to give his horse away. Instead, he will move his horse backwards. Over here, we have a very important move, which is to move our cannon all the way upwards. In this position, we have total control, even though we are down a horse. Why is this so? If you take a closer look at these pieces, you would realize that most of them are still underdeveloped. The horse, the rook, and the cannon on the right side are still undeveloped, and the other horse is literally suffocating his king. In the future, we are going to threaten a devastating attack by going after this advisor. Let's say he makes a random move. We can slide our left rook forward, threatening to move to the right and capture his advisor, breaking apart his defense. When he uses his rook to prevent us from going after the advisor, we can move our advisor up, capturing his rook. And after he retreats his rook, let's say it goes here, we can activate our other rook. Here, both our rooks have joined in the attack. and his pieces are all underdeveloped. Therefore, a few moves ago, he should not have accepted our horse sacrifice, which is over here. He should not have taken our horse. However, what if he moves his rook back to capture our pawn? Here, we can no longer sacrifice our horse. We have to move our horse upwards. Now, our opponent plays a very natural move, which is to attack our horse with his rook. His idea is that if we move our horse backwards, he will have a positional advantage. With most of his pieces developed, he could simply move his horse upwards. Now, his horse, his cannon, his horse and his rook are all developed. So, in this particular position, the best move for us is to move our cannon to the side by one step, attacking his elephant and sacrificing our horse again. If we protect his elephant by moving it to the side, we can simply move our rook upwards, protecting the horse, and our position will be very solid. However, over here, what if he decides to take our horse? We can simply chop off the elephant, giving a check. After he responds to our check, we can move our cannon to the side, threatening to attack his king by sliding our rook to the bottom rank. While red is not immediately lost, over here we have a sizable advantage. Reason being, not only are we launching an attack on his king with our cannon and our rook, but he has also no good way of counter-attacking us. Let's say he moves his horse upwards, let's say here for example. If he wants to apply pressure on us, we could simply give 2 checks to fork his rook. Therefore, I highly recommend you to play this particular opening. If the opponent falls for this trap, which is to move his rook to the side, threatening to capture our horse, you can easily win the game by sacrificing this horse. If you like this video, please smash the subscribe button. It will be massively appreciated. Thank you.